Hey, what's shaking? Now what's shaking, nation? Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Kindness Rising. Good morning, Bernard. Bernard, I didn't get back to you last night. I saw your message. We're going to talk about them today. Yeah, hey, listen. This is
Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. I'm going to bring the accent out today, Jimmy. I don't know why, and I don't know why I'm talking this way to kick the show off, but it just comes out. I put glass on, I put hat on, I put mic on, I talk, and this stuff comes out just like this. Yes, let's get it, boys.
Remember, if you snooze, you're already 9 minutes behind the guy who was talking that way. Yeah, that's a true story. Hey, I say true story often. It's just kind of like my tagline. I'm like a wrestler. Yeah, I grew up with the WWE, no, actually WWF. Yeah, you catch like a tagline. Yeah, there you go. All right, listen, guys, today, explosive. Oh yeah, explosive. Speaking of explosive, I wonder if Johnny's in the bidet right now. Because we know Johnny is exploding in the bidet. Oh yeah, hey, I see your comments, Lucifer. What's up, Lucifer? Let's get the comments rolling, Lucifer. I see you there in the comments, Lucifer. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun today. Because I am. I don't give... Oh, I gotta warn you. So this is... Because I could just... It was starting to come out. This is an R-rated show. I'm just saying, R-rated show. Might drop an F-bomb. Might bop the B-bomb. The B-bomb is like, you know, like, it's kind of like a medium bad word. But B-bomb, F-bomb, G-bomb, I just might drop some bad words. I know who drops bad words, Marty. Marty's here today. Christopher Martin, a.k.a. C. Marty Fitz, doing the live here today. Yep, that's a true story. Hey, Lucifer, I really am struggling with understanding what your words are. Yeah, 100%. Good morning, Adam Holroyd. What's going on, brother? Holroyd, you have a doppelganger. I'm telling you right now, brother. You have a doppelganger that lives down the road from me. He's my friend, Jerry. I got to go get a picture of Jerry. I saw him yesterday. I'm thinking, fuck, that's Adam Holroyd. You guys are actually the same person. I can't even find the words to articulate how much you guys look like the same person. True story, Holroyd. Yeah, I'm telling you. And Bernard, I haven't found your doppelganger. No, I haven't. I got some bees in my yard though. Yeah. All right, we got producer Jimmy on the buttons. Yep. I think producer Jimmy's got himself sorted out. Jimmy and Uncle Keith have had a few discussions this week. Yeah, holding me accountable. Yeah, absolutely. That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, have you ever wondered if a pen could trigger catastrophe? You guys ever been curious about the AutoPen? Yeah. Me and Carter were talking about it a couple days ago, and Carter's like, you know, that's kind of a curious conversation, the AutoPen. I don't know if society has talked enough about the AutoPen. I'm going to very much articulate and enunciate AutoPen for our show today, because it's actually quite fascinating. I don't think humans have sat back and really thought about the power of the AutoPen. Yeah, it's just, we're going to talk about the I bet you Johnny has never thought about the power of the AutoPen. Yeah, and then we're going to dive into the world of
tiny little peptides. Yep, you know those peptides you find in Tide?
I didn't say Tide. No, peptides. Yes, the little mysterious messengers that Huberman and the gang are all talking about. Yep, me and Johnny are going to talk because the human experiment. Jon Andersen, my partner here, the dude who's frolicking over there in the sunset. Yeah, he just frolics. Johnny, you guys don't know this, but when John's not on the show with me, Jon frolics. I have video of Jon just frolicking around, just frolicking out there. Terry's chasing him. He's like, I'm frolicking to the bidet, honey. I'm like, I know. She's like, I know, Johnny. So we're going to talk frolicking with Johnny today as we have a conversation about peptides. Because I know the guy's an expert in peptides, or he's a burgeoning, upcoming. Yeah, and hey, exciting. If you guys see an ad pop up during the show here today, just fucking go with it. I told you I'm going to swear. Because apparently I logged in today and StreamYard and YouTube has now launched live ads. Because they recognize that as today's conversation about building a business with bootstrapping, yesterday was cash call for me. Yeah, I had to go dig into my wallet and pump some cash into the business. So YouTube must be like, oh, hey, we're going to turn ads on so these guys can make a little bit of bucks. That's a true story. Yeah, oh yeah. And hey, speaking of making a little bit of bucks, you guys can join the Mornings in the Lab community. It is free. It's absolutely free. We have a wonderful community getting it after every single day. Guys like Holroyd, guys like Bernard. We got Lady Drew here as well in the community daily. There are awesome OG members in our lab here today. So you guys can join the community. It's free, or you can step up to the plate and contribute if you feel like there's value here. And listen, if you're a free member, I'm not suggesting you don't see the value here, but you guys showing up every single day, that is value for me. If you do want to unlock some additional value, you can just click the subscribe button and then go to the mornings. That's what it sounds like when I'm life expected. Yeah, you know. Just. So I would invite you to do that. And hey, you guys can also join the conversation. Jimmy, what's the number? It is 431-300-3005. 431-300-3005. The only morning show hotline you guys can get after every single day. Live, text, or voicemail. Ask Bernard. I answer the phone. All right. Enough of my rambling. I've been rambling for many minutes. Jimmy is bringing the big dog himself.
The big dog himself, Jon Andersen. What's up, Johnny? Are you frolicking, Johnny?
How are you, brother?
What is the definition of frolicking?
Oh, can I show you? Here, I'll show you.
That's frolicking? So now that you're done doing it, define it.
Anybody watching the show right now is like, what the hell is going on? There's a big dude in the middle and I'd sucking on a cigar, and there's some freak frolicking across the screen. Yeah, it's more than
define frolic with words. I see it, but define that.
Okay, so my holy fuck, Johnny, Jimmy, he's got me on the spot here. So to me, frolicking.
I was gonna say that I kind of know what you're saying before you say it, but I want to hear your definition.
I'm going to answer your question, my brother. I'm going to answer your question. So, me frolicking means lifting your knees and your thighs and your body just kind of like flowing through the wind, almost like I'm going to use the word gay, but in happy, like you're a gay individual just frolicking through life, like happiness. Your hands and your fingers are just free, and you're just smiling, and your hair. Oh wait, you don't have any hair. Your hair is just flowing, and you're just absorbing the energy. I know you love energy of the moment. You're just frolicking away, almost like Tiny Tim, frolicking. Yeah.
Interesting.
No, I didn't smoke a joint.
If I had to describe that, I was going to be reaching too. So I wanted to see how far you're going to have to reach to do it.
There you go. Hey, I got a new shirt on today.
What is it?
I got my Jaws shirt on today. So I just decided because I'm a huge fan of Jaws, man. I think one of the greatest.
You got to change cameras. That other camera angle wasn't. We weren't seeing anything.
I had to jump up. I had to, because we all know that I'm standing at a standing desk. Keith
standing at a sitting desk. You mean?
Keith and Johnny are launching a new desk as part of the Mornings in a Lab store. It's the first standing sitting desk ever invented.
It doesn't move. The normal people sit and the short people stand.
Hey, so I have to ask you, brother, how's your ass today?
How's good.
How's your gut?
It pretty much just shut. I mean, shortly after the show, it was pretty much over.
Yeah,
it was just a quick evacuation.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's it. So,
yeah. Then when she woke up and came to her senses, she was fine. It's that when you're not awake, you get rattled too easily type scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. So how was the day yesterday? What happened? So you got off the show, and what happened after the show yesterday, mister? What'd you get after?
Well, I committed not to train like I was supposed to, which was difficult.
I remember, yeah. And how did you deal with it mentally? I
stayed focused on other stuff that interested me.
Oh, that's good. That took discipline, eh? No?
Well, and then to remember, to keep reminding myself that today, how good it was going to be if I took. So I had to really get away from the instant gratification and start to delay my gratification.
Oh yeah.
Like perfect example today when I did when I was doing my morning exercise, just rapping out some burpees just to get my heart breathing,
Yeah.
It brings me. I was like, God, I don't feel there's no pain in my shoulders and my wrists. So then my body's recovered. That's kind of what I need. Because when I have joint pain that keeps lingering,
yeah,
I'm keeping myself slightly overtrained. But the flip side of that too is I'm on a really ripping peptide protocol for that. in
Oh
terms
yeah,
of joints.
yeah. Well, good.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it at the bottom of the hour here at the 45-minute hour. After your lifestyle tip, I want to come back and talk peptides.
Real quick, I just want to share something. So, like, they're so basic, it's crazy. Like when there's one called BPC 157. BPC stands for Body Protective Compound. I mean, I could be wrong with the C, but it's body protective. That's how simple it is. It's crazy,
Well, and I think
it's not this crazy tech thing everybody's so freaked out about.
I know, and I think what sometimes people get. I think the opposite happens when it becomes so simple, like you're explaining it. Some people might consider it being like a snake oil situation. Right?
Well, and it often gets compared to like juice and different.
100%, yes,
because a lot of times it's when people, you hear most peptides about people trying to gain muscle or drop body fat, which fits right into that train of thought.
Yes. Well, and I listen, I can see why there's confusion around peptides and PED, because at the end of the day, and correct me on this, but in order for me to take a peptide, I'm more than likely doing an injectable. Am I correct?
The majority of them are. There's a in there, but keep in mind it's all sub-Q. It's just getting under the skin, so it's a little insulin needle.
Interesting. Sub-Q.
It's not like a normal injection with a 1 inch or 1.5 inch needle that when the doctor comes at you with one of those things, you're like, where are you putting that, man? Funny side note about that, dude. I remember there was a period where I had to get epidurals in my back because my back was so jacked up.
Oh God!
And I was still competing, so they kept giving me epidurals, so I couldn't.
Yeah.
And the first one that I got, dude, crazy. So they pull out one little needle, and the first one, it's really little, somewhere, I don't know, like this. But what they were doing, they were numbing where they were going to put the big one, right? I thought that was epidural. This is the first time. All of a sudden, this dude turns around and it was like he unsheathed the knife. That thing was like that long. And I was like, what are you doing with that thing? He goes, we got to get this all the way past your spine.
Jesus,
like, holy shit. Thank God I'm looking the other way, man.
Yeah, I think
that's the needle to be scared of right there.
I got to be frank, man. I didn't realize. I'm extremely curious about peptides. As an aging man, I'm my biggest hang up, and call me every name in the book as you want. I fucking hate needles. Like the whole idea of a needle. So when you said, and I know you've talked to many dudes that what I'm saying is not a new thing. No, and I know it's this hate, I don't care if you hate, I know Keith did the hate word. I don't care if you hate it. Sometimes you got to do the shit that others won't do. I get all that. I didn't realize it was subcutaneous. I really did not realize that, because I have done those, because that's not, I don't believe that's too very dissimilar, Johnny. Hold on, let's grab some off camera here. I don't think it's very dissimilar from some of those, blood glucose monitors that we attach to our arms now, right?
Guaranteed, yeah, very similar.
Those little nubs that you stick into your arm.
You almost do exactly. It was almost identical to that.
Interesting. Hey, Holroyd, I see your comment there, bro. I'm curious about this, and so I knew this was going to drive conversation, Johnny. I knew it was, because people are curious. You're seeing it more all over the internets. And Adam, I hear nothing but good things about BPC 157 and tesamorelin. I know John's going to
you're very correct, brother, but here's the thing. You got to understand how to pair these, because they do a great job by themselves. But when you pair, say, BPC 157 and TB 500, then if you go the third step, that's what I like. They put the three together with GHKCU. They call that the glow blend, or the glow stack, because BPC 157 and TB 500 are basically kind of very similar outcomes, but they're coming in from two different pathways, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah.
And then the GHKCU, that one is more of a collagen thing. So it's also doing the same thing, but it's coming from yet a third angle. And I really like that one, because Christ, it's all about, it makes your skin feel better. I shouldn't say feel better. For me, as I get older, I can bump against a doorknob or something. I'll get this fucking raspberry in my forearm. Like, Jesus Christ, you
shit, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so, but keep in mind, like, it'll heal, right? Especially like if I'm using growth hormone, You know, which is also a peptide, funny enough. Nobody knows that.
Yes.
Creatine is a peptide.
Yeah.
Anyway, it'll heal very quickly because that's what growth hormone does, right?
Yes.
Or if I'm using a secretagogue, one of these peptides that helps the body bring out, it'll heal quickly. But the GHKCU will actually, that raspberry may not show up at all. That makes sense. But the skin's more resilient to begin with.
Yeah. Hey, you're hanging out with Keith and Jon here on Mornings Live with Keith and Jon, getting after it every single day right here, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We're teasing peptides. We're going to have a bigger conversation with peptides later on in the show here. Jimmy, let's set up the accountability check-in. We're going to do that in a quick minute. Johnny, are you familiar with have you heard of the AutoPen? Do you know what the AutoPen is?
I mean, I want to say yes, but if you asked me to describe it, I couldn't do it. Kind of like you and Frolicking.
Yeah. So I know, and I pride myself in trying to find things that are just curious and make us all kind of go, really, right? And the AutoPen has been in the quote unquote news now since the Trump administration took over, because apparently the Biden administration was using it a lot. And I don't care about the politics of it. I'm fascinated by the idea of the AutoPen. We're going to talk about it later on in the show, because when
what is the idea? What's the idea? What's the concept?
I'm going to tease you on it. We're going to talk about it because it's actually you're going to kind of go, really? That's fucking crazy, man. It's just crazy, this AutoPen. So yeah, I'm just going to do my job, Johnny, as the host, and tease it. Yeah, it's just what I do. I just tease it forward.
Okay, so I'm going to take a guess now, since you're going to hold it back on me. It's like remember it was like the next generation of some sort of an iPhone or some communication device.
Similar, or it might have been something you would have liked as you were in your celebrity era of strongman, bodybuilder, wrestler, and people were wanting your autograph.
It signs your autograph for you.
It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. So,
dude, my shit, I condensed my shit so fucking tight. It's like it's just I can hit a page and swoop it out of there real fucking quick. I can do 250 signers in 15 minutes, man.
I love it. Bernardo, I see your comment there. No additives here besides the hippie grass. Yes, I hear you. Speaking of hippie grass, Johnny, I want to, Jimmy, before we do the accountability check, and I do want to take 2 minutes to, Johnny, I know you're a busy dude, and you got a lot going on in your world. If you find 5 minutes, 7 minutes maybe, I would invite you to check out Matt Roof's very, very honest monologue yesterday. I want to share it with you. And I don't think Matt's going to be, I think Matt's going to be okay with me sharing this because he talked about it on the air yesterday. So Matt has talked about his struggles with addiction, and Matt has talked about his struggles with evening voyages into the kitchen, just like you and I have talked about, Johnny, the pantry, those bad choices.
There's a peptide for this, by the way.
Yeah. So Maddie, and I'll give the guy credit, man. So Maddie on Tuesday just had one of those nights that we've all had. Bad choice, perpetuated bad choice, perpetuated bad choice. And it started perpetuating some of those challenges in his life around the A word, the addiction word that you battle with, I battle with, and many of us men battle with.
Did it turn into did the addiction word, the A word, turn into the second A word of alcohol?
Alcohol did enter the conversation, and it became part of his journey that evening. But I'm really proud of Matt. He got up yesterday, Johnny. He did his show. Got up 7. Did his show. Got in front of the camera, and he talked about it. He talked about his night before. He got on the camera, talked about how he was feeling, apologized to his family, basically looked in the camera, Johnny, like a mirror. And I got to tell you, man, as a human being, I'm going to get emotional about it. I was so fucking proud. I've gotten to know this guy and the character, and it's one thing to go through that, but then the next thing is, and I think you would appreciate this too. He shows up the next day unequivocally. And he's like, fuck, I just got up, threw my hat on, I just started talking. And I'm like, dude, that's power. And you know why he did it, Johnny? For self-accountability. He's like, this show is helping me be accountable. He says, I know that I got to get to bed to get up. I'm like, dude, I hear you, man. You're drinking the same Kool-Aid myself and Johnny are. Like he's using his morning show now as his own accountability partner, as his own accountability segment to help himself prevent these situations that he finds himself in.
Well, so that's really cool. Let me just share something real quick. Yeah. When he says the show helps him get up, that's really cool. I mean, obviously it's the concept of the whole fucking thing. It
is.
But here's the thing: when we first started, I didn't even know it at the time, because sometimes you go into these type things in life and you don't really understand where you are, because it drifts gentle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So when we first started the show, I didn't realize that I was actually struggling more to get up than I normally was. But then when we started doing the show, because I had the reason, I was like, whoa, I guess I was struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? So, it was like, and keep in mind, brother, it's been fucking since Jesus Christ. I mean, I have never had in my whole life. I've never had once school was over. I never had a place I had to be unless it was like fucking checking in at a fucking arena. You know, you check in arena 3 hours early before you go hit the gym before you wrestle. But I mean, I've never had a daily like every day you have to be here at this time since fucking school, dude.
Well, but I'm wanted to talk about this because it's hard for me not to lean into, and I'll bring it up like the business side of it. John, there's dudes all over the planet right now that are like Matt, that are like Keith, that are like John, that maybe don't want to go to an AA or a program that they're just like, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, then hey, here's the offer. Join us. We have shows on our network. You can buy it. If you want to hold yourself accountable, buy a show on our network with Keith, John, and Matt and Marty. Buy one. Make the commitment to yourself. And then have us help you be committed to that and rebrand, get yourself up, get going. And I'll say it, take control of your life. You're going to get fitness advice from Andersen. You're going to get business advice from myself. You're going to get life advice from Maddie. But the reality is that here's what it is, Johnny. You have a place to be every single morning. You have a place to be every single morning. And I don't know about you, man, but I've told you 1,000 times, this show's been a game changer for me. Last night, Lauren made some cookies because we had some people over. She made some cookies. I'm like, I had a couple and I went to bed. In the past, Johnny would have crushed them all. But I was like, no, I got to get up. I got to hang out with my team. I got to get some sleep. So I just wanted to call it out because I wanted to just publicly congratulate Matt for his courage. It takes a lot of fucking courage to do what he did. And I know that you admire somebody who gets after it every single day. And I know you've been enjoying getting to know Matt as well. So and the good thing is, and we'll bring some humor to this, as we're talking right now, he's listening. And you know where he is, Johnny? He's on the shitter. So, hey, life goes on.
Good for him. Good for him. And Matt, I'm going to say this out of love and also as a way to kind of dangle a carrot. There's not been many people that have made it over a year with the regularity that the little guy and I have been,
Yeah. True story.
So you got to, you're out of the gate strong. Keep that shit going. Once you cross that year mark, now you've kind of entered into a new club.
Well, you know what's crazy too, Johnny, is that if he can get through what happened through in those 24 hours of his life, there's probably no reason he can't get through anything. Like, I got to think emotionally, mentally, it was probably a low point in maybe the last few months or times, right? So now he's like, wow, if I could do that, like, what the hell? So I just, like you, I love when I see humans progress and get better. Because today we're talking about purpose, right? So if this show's purpose is to help guys like Matt and me and you correct our lives, fuck, I'm happy, dude. I'm happy as all mother shit can be. So that's I wanted to share that with you. I really wanted to share that.
For sure, brother.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Okay, listen, let's do this. I'm gonna we're running a little bit late. We'll do the accountability check-in. Do you want to step away for a quick piss break while I do that?
Please.
Let's do.
I'm on top of my water today, babe. If I'm on top of my water, I gotta have them.
Jimmy, he's saying please. So Jimmy, we'll send Johnny off to the pisser. I'm going to do the accountability check-in, and then we're going to come back and have some chatter around bootstrapping and purpose and so forth. So I hear you're getting after with Keith and John. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Marty, and Jimmy, and Maddie, and the whole gang getting after here this morning, and I'm going to make it sound just like this. Jimmy. All right. So listen, blaming someone else for emotions is easy. Yeah, you're like, oh, work was tough, so it must be that guy over there. Family pushes your buttons. It's my kids are driving me nuts. Somebody cuts you off in your car, and it's the stranger's fault. It's always somebody's fault, and most of us react. And I was one of them when we're triggered. Frankly used to do it all the time. React. Snap at my partner. Right? Just what the fuck? Right? Send a heated email. Oh, I was bad at that. Get on my phone. Boom. Then I was like, wait a minute. What are you? Stop being such a douchebag. Right? And that let frustration leak into team meetings. The result? Regret, tension, missed opportunities, blindness from the opportunity around me. But I got to be honest, man. Since I've been on the show and hanging out with all of you, I've learned how to respond. instead of reacting. Man, the power in response instead of reaction is life-changing. It's game-changing. And in many ways, that's what Matt did. You know, Matty responded to his own self. He didn't react to it. He's like, I got to get up. I got to respond. If to him, responding was getting up, having a conversation with all of you, all of us, inspiring all of us with honest self. That's reacting, not responding. I'm so that's responding, not reacting. Because my actions, I'm telling you, my actions, they're not anybody else's job to fix. It took me time. It took me time to figure that out, but they're not your job to fix, not John's job to fix, not Marty's job to fix, Jimmy's. They're mine. They're mine to manage, always. So what does that mean? And I do it very much daily. I catch myself before I lash out. I take that break before I respond. And I find myself not dumping my stress on the people around me. It's hard, but I've done it. And I refuse to blame my mood on the world around me. It's too easy. Open up platform here, open up platform there, and you can just fall into this negative trap. So accepting that no one else is responsible for how you show up, I got to tell you guys, it's one of the best decisions you can make, because humans who own their emotions build better relationships at home, more engaged teams at work, and develop a healthier relationship with who? With who? With yourself. That's a true story. So I invite you to find some time today to not blame everybody around you. Go look in the mirror, blame yourself, and find some time to respond instead of react. It's a game changer. I'm telling you, game changer right here on Mornings in the Lab. It's Keith and Johnny and Marty, Jimmy, the whole gang right here on Mornings in the Lab. All right, Jim, let's go to the comments here. Yeah, we got Matt commenting in the comments. B, I've got the book. Been to meetings, support 100%. Roofy's awesome, man. I'm a huge fan of Matt Roof. We got Lady Drew coming in. My congratulations and prayers to every life facing. Yes, siree, baby. And what else we got here? And Holroyd comes back with earlier on in the show here. Yes, the dude in Canada, it looks like you. He's absolutely the same guy. I think I got to introduce you guys. That's absolutely it. And guys, I didn't realize that you guys are seeing commercials before the show. That's pretty good. Maybe YouTube will flip some money our way if they're going to run commercials before the show. And I'm wondering, so apparently they might even run commercials during the show. I just don't know how it works. Keith and Jimmy can't find the button, because there might be a button that we can press and we can go for a piss and turn the commercials on. So Jimmy, let's bring up Marty, let's bring up Johnny, let's keep the show rocking and rolling here on Mornings in the Lab. Marty, got your mic working?
Yeah, we good, man. I got it all together.
Yeah,
sounds sharp. Sounds tight, brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, no echo. It's sound is nice.
I gotta give Marty the applause, man.
Yeah, man. It's technical difficulties. Stuff happens. You know how it is.
It does,
you know?
yeah. So how you been, brother? I feel like it's been a few days since we got a chance to catch up. So let's have a catch up with our brother Marty from another mother. What's going on, my friend?
I'm good, man. And I was going to tell you too. They YouTube will play ads during the show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, have you seen?
Yeah.
But during the live show?
Yeah, it's not like you can control it. They just put them on randomly. You know.
Right. So I guess I'm curious. So while we're live right now, like an ad just start, or the viewers might see the ad starting while we're on the show?
The viewers will see it. You won't see it.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting. So it just
yeah,
goes.
We're on the inside, babe. It's got to get we send it out, and then they do what they want with it.
So yeah, because if they're monetizing, they've never monetized live videos before, and not a lot of live shit happening. So I'm happy that they're doing this live stuff. That's awesome. What's going on, Mark Kemp? I see their comments in LinkedIn. Why don't you come join the conversation here on YouTube as well? So Marty, what's going on? How's life been, pal? How's the lady friend? What's work been like? I know you've been moving. Did you move to a new place? Where you at transition wise? Give us.
I'm still at mom's place, man. She don't want me to leave. No,
are you moving to a new shack, or what's your plan?
No, I'm gonna move to a new spot. I was looking at a place in Crystal City by the Pentagon, but changed my mind. So
yeah,
we're looking at a new spot. We'll figure it out. I'm in no rush, man. I'm right here by the gym, so it works out because I can leave the gym or come here on the show.
Yeah.
That's working out for me.
Yeah,
but other than that,
how close to the gym are you, bro?
5 minutes.
Oh shit, that's nice. Yeah. You ain't got to get on the freeway for that, huh?
No. I'm literally 5 minutes, so it works out
perfect,
fine.
Bro.
I like that when you say. I live by the Pentagon. It's just, because I just, you don't hear a lot of people that say, well, yeah, I'm just kind of going to move by the Pentagon over there. You might
literally
by the Pentagon.
Literally, like you can see the Pentagon from the place. It was right there. So I was looking at that, but I changed my mind on that one. So
yeah. Hey, I teased something with Johnny earlier on the show. Marty, are you familiar with the AutoPen? You know what the AutoPen is?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it's crazy, man, because AutoPen's been in the news here this last couple weeks here, and we're going to talk about it coming up on the show here. But before we do that, today's big conversation, one of the big conversations today is about bootstrapping. And actually, it's funny enough, Bernard, one of our community members, sent me a text last night. He's in the bee business, as we know, and he had a big announcement a couple days ago, came on the show to talk about it. But he had some questions around bootstrapping. I said, hey, we're going to talk about it here on the show. And Johnny, I want to come to you as we're having this conversation, but when you sold your business, back when you sold the gym, and even when you set it up, like did you raise money? Did you find money? Did you put your own money in? But before you answer that, Jimmy, let's run the opener on this. Let's talk about bootstrapping for a few minutes as part of our deep dive on today's Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, Marty, and the entire gang. Global, I see you there. Sometimes the advertisement will split the screen with audio on commercial and half on show visual. Jimmy, we have this? Let's run this bootstrapping segment, Jimmy.
Let's be real. The world doesn't need another pitch deck begging for VC cash. If you're serious about building something that lasts, think bootstrapping. It's not plan B. It's the power move that puts you in control. Forget move fast and break things. Bootstrapping is about deliberate moves. Know your customer. Build something they can't live without. Take MailChimp. They bootstrapped to a $12 billion acquisition. Shopify started as a snowboard shop. These aren't accidents. Revenue is oxygen. Start generating it fast.
Yes, we're talking bootstrapping on this Mornings in the Lab this morning. Johnny, when you started your gym there years ago and then you sold it, did you dig into your own pockets for that thing?
Dude, I've basically taken a credit card and started businesses.
Perfect. It's exactly the response that I want. Love that. Yeah,
because when you're, it's like you just behave differently when you're
that's exactly the answer.
When you're that close to falling off the edge, you know what I mean? It's like you're willing to do the shit that even you wouldn't do if you were comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'll do the shit most people won't do when I'm comfortable. You get me uncomfortable, look the fuck out.
Yeah. Again, we didn't prep for this, but that was the answer I was hoping you'd drop, because I think that's often what people get confused with. And especially, in my experience anyways, it's, I got to go raise money.
They're afraid of the risk that it takes to fucking do it, on, a credit card.
I got to go raise money. No, you don't actually. You don't. Go build something, start selling it, go get a credit card, start selling it. Then if you find you need to raise money, do it. But I wouldn't even do that. Keep control as long as you can. Right. The moment I start digging into Marty's pockets and Johnny's pockets for money, the moment they're on my back daily, weekly, asking me questions, putting the pressure on. So Johnny goes to the credit card company. He's got one company to deal with, which is the credit card company, right? And he gets his 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. Maybe that gives him a chance runway to get to the next credit card.
But here's the thing. Let me just inject right there. You're talking about you borrow money, you got to deal with these people, blah blah blah. Yeah. You're totally correct.
Yeah.
But I look at it from a different perspective. Starting a business on a credit card, my credit card.
Yes.
It's like being under a fucking heavy squat bar when your legs are quaking.
Absolutely.
And you're going to find a way to stand up with that bitch.
Yes.
And what people are not understanding is putting yourself in these positions will force yourself to do great things. People are afraid to get in that position. When I was once I really understood, I'm going to talk about that concept in squat. I would pull the bar out 700 pounds outside the cage. Before I was starting, I wasn't putting it away. I was going until I fucking crashed. That's how committed you have to be, going all the way. And once you discover that, it's like, okay, I'm doing this on a credit card and I'm going to fucking go. It's either going to work or this fucking credit card, I'm going to end up having to not pay it or whatever it is. Whatever the downside is, accept it and just go get the shit done. Because when all the dust settles, you're going to find a way.
Yes. So I love your analogy. I'm a huge fan of that. I know when I started ICUC, myself and Maurice, we bootstrapped it, and we're bootstrapping this. And I'm often asked the question, Keith, why are you bootstrapping this when you can go dig in and go, and go and either raise money or go spend a bunch of your own money on this thing? Well, I am spending my own money on this thing, but what I really believe in is
in a bootstrap fashion, though.
Yes, but maintaining control of it, right? So, because the world's shifting so fast right now with technologies. I think people are giving percentages of their business away for no reasons. My point is, there's things that I can do today that I couldn't do a month ago that I might have raised money for, hired people for, that now I don't need because these tools that I have in place. So for me, it's about finding revenue, getting that revenue into the house, reinvesting that revenue into the house, and then doing it again, and doing it one customer at a time. Some of the biggest companies, like I don't know if you guys know about Johnny, Marty, you guys know about MailChimp? Big CRM,
I use it. I use it.
They were bootstrapped, exited for $10 billion.
10 billion?
Yes.
It's a big company, man.
They
were if I'm not mistaken, they were more of the front end of email delivery, weren't they?
You're bang on, Johnny. Absolutely one of the first. Yes, absolutely one of, if not the first. And most people on the internet would know of MailChimp. But I love that example because we're often teased in the business world of, go raise money, go raise money, go raise money. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with those who want to raise money. The other approach, it's a harder approach. It's a more disciplined approach. But the longer it takes to build the foundation, the harder it is to pull it down. Back to Johnny's point with the credit card. You get yourself a credit card, you got that responsibility. If you can lean in and manage that credit card and get some customers to help you pay that thing off, you keep that control. There's nobody standing over you in the squat rack saying, "No, Johnny, you can't do that, man. You got to go back in the squat rack." No, you're like, "Fuck that. I know I can do it because I've done it before." So that whole
and that's the last thing you got to be doing is listen to what other people say.
Exactly.
Fuck, because they're gonna tell you can't because they don't believe that they can do it.
Yes. Well, and it's funny. It's funny you say that too, because the other conversation I want to have today, Mark, I see your conversation around accomplishments and purpose. It's funny to hear you say it too, Johnny, because I've talked to enough entrepreneurs in my lifetime. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm just building a business for a purpose, or I'm building a business to make everybody happy." That's fine. I get it. No, to be happy, you need to make a lot of cash. I'm just saying it. And I'll say this too. Money doesn't buy you happiness, but money does buy you happiness because money buys you freedom, money buys you time, money buys you opportunities. Let me. I want to just put it. I so agree. I just want to put another dimension, right? So when you make a lot of money, you can fucking help a lot of people. Bingo. You want to fucking help people? Make some fucking money. Bingo. My point is, I wonder out loud sometimes when I hear people who are like, "Yeah, I'm not really doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the purpose." That's great. I love it because I don't know if you want to put the time in and the commitment in and get the credit card and take the risk to be the difference maker. That to me is what it is. So somebody gets comfortable with recognizing that I don't want to put 15-hour days in. And there's two sides to that thing. When someone says I'm not doing it for the money, they're saying it because they're copping out because they're not fucking committed, or there's the people that are fucking chasing down a passion, knowing that the money will follow. So which is it, person A or B? Yes, yeah, exactly. So listen. I'll wrap it up with this, and just be a little bit cryptic with this. Bootstrapping could be as simple as going to get a credit card and get started. Because then the pressure is just back to the squat rack. Go get that credit card, go to business, go get that credit card, go get your business going, get into the squat rack. And then show the world you can drive revenue. I'll tell you right now, you drive revenue, people will line up to give you money. When you drive revenue, people will line up to give you money. Because you're showing them. Simple as that. Global, I see you there. Carlos Artero started a YouTube channel to teach his newborn girl everything he knows, business and life topics daily. I like that. And Christopher Woodman started a channel to do a video every day for 1,000 days. And then I got Bernard coming. Money will definitely follow. AG is the biggest growing right now. And Bernard, I want to make sure I answer your questions before we get to Hey, Jimmy, does AJ have his calendar messed up there? Does AJ think it's Freedom Friday today, or we got AJ joining us? Which is awesome.
Let me add one more thing. You just says you're dropping these pearls, but I think I want to add other elements so people can see there's more to what you're saying.
Yeah,
you say drive revenue, people are gonna come and want to be a part, right?
Yes.
Well, but there's also the people that haven't driven revenue, but they live their life in a way that people want to buy them. I want to buy you, and that's what Maurice did to you.
Yeah, well said. Well said. And as a matter of fact, when we talked to that fellow yesterday, Adam Hurd, we had a very similar conversation after the show where we were talking. Adam, if you're listening right now, dude, solid fellow, had a great conversation. Johnny, I got to introduce you guys, but we had a very similar conversation where you invest in people as well. So well said, Johnny. Right. So your accomplishments, Marty's accomplishments, what we've done. That social proof is another reason somebody would invest in you. Well said. Not just the
when I was young, when I was trying to find my way.
Yeah,
I had because obviously the gym was kind of a place where older guys saw me. I had multiple people. Older dudes, successful dudes that came and talked to me about different business ventures.
Yes.
At the time I was just so set that I wanted to do it my way, which I'm glad I did. That was the way I was programmed, because that would have, if I had done some of them, it would have taken me off my path, because they saw how hard I worked. They wanted to apply it to these different elements, which they wanted to take those. It was a great opportunity, but looking back, had I taken any of them, it would have taken me off my true purpose journey.
Yes. Well, so I'm glad you said too, Johnny, because that's what also happens, right? The moment that you start taking money from people, the moment that you're somewhat obligated to hear their voice. Hey, Marty, here's $100,000. Hey, Marty, what's going on? Hey, Marty, what's going on? Like, fuck, Bilous, leave me alone. Well, no, Marty, but you have $100,000 of mine. What's going on? Leave me alone.
Well, and especially if that money is saying, okay, here's the money, I want you to go this direction.
Yes. Oh, Marty, I think you should go. So, hey, use Bernard as our role play. Hey, Bernard, here's $100,000. I think you should go in this direction. Well, no, but Keith, but we got to go in this one. Well, no, but Bernard, but I got $100,000 into your business. Well, that to me is what I don't want to deal with. Where I'm like, you know what? I would rather go and back to your analogy, Johnny, get the credit card, maintain control of the conversation, and deal with Visa along the way, instead of giving up equity, giving up control, and creating all that noise in my life of Keith always on my ass saying, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, what these guys were saying with me, it was kind of a common theme. It was, I say, look, this is what I do. Because I was always interested in talk. I would always sit next to these dudes on the cardio machines and talk to them, right?
Yes.
That's what I do now.
I didn't have any fucking money, and they knew it, right? Yes. But they're like, look, this is what I do. We can start a company. I'll be a partner. You'll be basically the primary. I'm going to get a piece of the action because I'm going to fund it, but I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, not make the mistakes I did. So they were going to give me this stream, but it was taking me totally in the direction that I wasn't going.
Yeah. Well, and it certainly can happen. And Bernard, I see your comment there. I'm fine with the investors asking questions. That's not the challenge, Bernard. What I learned through my experience when I was selling my company was that all of the attention you got to put. You're either putting your attention into driving revenue, or you're putting your attention into operating and managing your investors. So where do you want to put your? So in my experience, go and find revenue, go find revenue, because revenue ultimately solves all problems. It's really true story. Revenue solves all problems because sales solves it all. So anyways, we're talking bootstrapping with Keith, John, Martin. We got AJ in the green room here. Let's do a lifestyle tip with Johnny. And then let's come back and bring AJ in, and let's talk purpose. Let's talk a little. I see Mark's in there. Let's talk purpose, and then John, we'll get to the conversation on peptides as well. We'll probably do that at the top of the hour. Now, I didn't realize.
I can stay part of AJ's session. I can't stay the whole time.
Beautiful, awesome. Let's do that. Let's bring in. Let's do lifestyle tip with Johnny, Jimmy, and then we'll bring in AJ and have a conversation around purpose. And then we'll talk peptides with Jon Andersen and the gang. Good morning, Lauren. I see you, baby. I see you there in the comments.
And Jimmy, remember, when I'm done, you just cut me loose.
Let's do it, Jimmy. All right, I got to get some sound effects for the.
All right, check this out. If you're trying to do something great, I shouldn't even say something great, something that's outside the ordinary, something extraordinary. There's ordinary and there's extraordinary. And as soon as you step outside of ordinary, you're going to have all sorts of people that are going to tell you that you can't. But just remember, they just don't believe that they can do it themselves. And they're basically applying that to you. So the first thing you got to remember is if you have people telling you can't, that means you've stepped outside the ordinary. That's the first step. The second step is to realize they don't lack confidence in you. They lack confidence in themselves. So don't take that the wrong way. It's just the nature of human beings. Because if you're here, you do want something more. And something more is absolutely possible. It's actually much closer than you think. But the first step is to get outside the ordinary. And the second step is to put those blinders on and your earplugs in and not get distracted by the people who are telling you that you can't, only because they don't believe in themselves. So keep that close to your heart, because the more successful you become, the more you're going to realize what I just said is true. Now, I help people level up. I help people get outside the ordinary. It's what I do. Physically, mentally, you level up, your whole life levels up. You want to talk to me about this? Drop into my LinkedIn DMs, say, hey, very least, I'm going to give you my handbook. As I've said before, this thing is really helpful. The Monster Mindset. It'll get you thinking in the right direction, get you moving the way you want to go. Rock and roll.
You've finally achieved that big goal you've been chasing for years. So why does success feel so empty? If you've ever felt surprisingly hollow after a major win, you're not alone. That post-achievement crash isn't a personal failure. It's actually hardwired into how our brains work. Neuroscience reveals that our brains release dopamine during the pursuit, not the completion of goals. When the chase ends, so does the chemical reward, leaving many high achievers feeling lost and directionless. But here's the breakthrough. This emptiness isn't an ending. It's your invitation to discover deeper, more meaningful sources of fulfillment. Today, we're uncovering how to transform that hollow feeling into lasting purpose.
All right. What's going on, Mr. Zeglen?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Nation, we have AJ Zeglen confused on the calendar, but the good news is he's here.
Oh, I've been MIA all week, so I just wanted to drop in today and just to say hi.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. How are you, pal? What's shaking?
I'm doing really good. Yeah, just busy. We had a little shift over the last week here. We have our first wave of guys heading out next week back to Europe.
Yes.
To play. So some ice times got moved around, some gym times got moved around. So now my regular Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I got guys in the gym at that time when I normally drop in and hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
So, but I was missing you guys because I hadn't been here all week. So I was like, hey, I got a little bit of time today. So I wanted to just drop in and see you guys and, chat for a little bit, see what you guys went to. And
Marty stuck around for you too. So boys, you can get after it. Marty and AJ.
Marty. I love seeing Marty.
AJ, yeah, I love seeing you too, man. I miss you, man.
Yeah, same. I always have this idea floating around in the back of my head of me and Marty starting our own sideshow where we just talk about sports.
Yes. Well,
that'd be pretty interesting.
We could make that happen, gentlemen. We do absolutely could make that happen on the Business Athlete Performance Lab live network, man. We absolutely can do a live sports show with Keith and AJ. I'm sorry, AJ and Marty. That'd be awesome, actually. Yeah. Are we actually coming up with an idea on the show here right now, live, like you two?
Whenever we touch upon a sports thing and then Marty kind of jumps in and said, I'm always like wanting to hear what he has to say. I always want to hear what his opinion is and stuff. But then we quickly switch topics to try to stay on whatever we were originally talking about. Right. But I'm like, oh man, I feel like I could love to sit down and talk sports with Marty for like a longer period of time.
Let's put something on the table right now, boys. Let's put something on. So Belichick was in the news. Him and Robert Kraft are pissing each other's cornflakes, trying to take credit for that bullshit here recently. Is that something you guys want to talk about? Or let's throw a sports conversation on the table for you two boys to get after it. Sell us on your sports show, Marty and AJ.
Well, I don't know enough about that topic to give an opinion. That's my first time hearing it.
Yeah.
So, AJ, tell me, you know about it? What happened? Tell me what happened.
I actually don't know. I just, Keith brought it up right now. Yeah, Keith's got to give us more info.
Tell us, Keith.
So you see, guys, apparently Keith needs to be on the sports show with Marty and AJ to be the host, to give these guys something to talk about. So evenings in sports with AJ and Marty and your host, Keith Bilous, to give you guys something to talk about.
I'm actually surprised it didn't come through my feed because I'm a Boston sports fan.
I know you are.
I'm kind of surprised that it didn't come through like my Instagram feed or something like that. It's usually feeding me nothing but Boston sports news, you know?
Yeah. So putting that one aside, let's talk real sports. Football's around the corner. What are you guys thinking about in the world of sports, you two, these days?
Well, me being a Commanders fan and us, having a great season last year. I'm hoping the Super Bowl this year, man. I'm hoping.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. That's big for us. We got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. We got the rookie of the year last year. I got high expectations, man. I don't know what AJ thinks.
Are you actually thinking the Commanders might go to the Super Bowl? I don't follow a lot of NFL, but I know the Commanders are on
Super Bowl, man. I got Super Bowl, man.
Holy smoke-a-ronies, actually. That's a pretty big reveal here at July 17th. AJ, would you agree with that, or where's your opinion on this?
Yeah. So, I mean, do I think they're going to be a contender? Yeah. Do I think they're going to go Super Bowl? I'm not sure. I do think what will be interesting to see is, traditionally they always talk about the sophomore slumps with quarterbacks. It's kind of this unwritten rule that, you could come in the league and have this great rookie season, but then you're going to struggle more in your second year once teams have had more time to study you and prepare for you. But I will say, I don't think that's going to happen with Jaden Daniels. I feel like he's just so intelligent, so well prepared, so hardworking, so humble, so obviously athletically gifted. That I do think that he's going to have a lot of success in his second year. Like he's just going to keep rising. I don't think there's going to be this drastic kind of drop off or stagnation that you sometimes see in other second year quarterbacks.
Keith and John will love this about Jaden Daniels' mom. His mom goes on all his dates.
What? What?
Yeah, like she vets the woman for him.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a big thing. Yeah.
Who are we talking about?
The Commanders quarterback, Jaden Daniels.
So how old is the young man?
I thought that's what we're talking. I was like, they must have put another name in there. I must have missed that.
No, his mom goes on dates.
Really? Well, there you go. Hey, somebody's got to be protecting the bank account, I guess, right? That's what it's kind of all about. I'm thinking, right?
That's what it's about. I'm pretty sure that's what it's about. Yeah.
Hey, well, Marty, I do got a question for you. Since this is your team, do you the one thing I have heard around them recently is, do you think they're gonna stay the Commanders, or you think they're going back to the Redskins?
People want the Redskins back, man.
Yeah, no, I know they do. And I saw a news
baby,
story
the Hogs. You never replace the Hogs.
This is interesting. So I got to be honest.
Real quick, Keith, and we're supposed to go back to the old stadium on top of that. So you got to bring the Redskins back. Yeah, they're redoing the old stadium. We're supposed to go back to the old stadium. So you got to bring the Redskins back. But go ahead, Keith.
There is something quite interesting that the Chicago Blackhawks are still the Chicago Blackhawks. Hang on that for a moment. But yet society can't deal with the Washington Redskins. Like or society can't deal with the Cleveland Indians. But yet the Washington Redskins can't exist. Like what world are we living in here?
I got a take on that, but I can't say what I want to say. But I will say this: I think since there's more attention on football than hockey, you're going to get more upset people.
Yes.
I say that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. 100%. Yeah. And I guess, so I guess in the hierarchy of sport, that's a really good comment, Marty, because football would be first in America, probably followed by baseball, right? Yep. So if we're going to pay attention to football, why is it called the Redskins? Should be called the Commanders, and like, okay, we'll deal with the Cleveland Indians, because they're still called the Indians, right? Aren't they?
No, yeah. Guardians.
Oh, they're not Guardians.
Oh, they changed.
Yeah.
See, that just tells you how much attention I wasn't paying. And then I know here in Canada, AJ, there's controversy in Edmonton about making the Elks back to be called the Eskimos again.
Right. Yeah. What I find fascinating is I think that, when you dig a little deeper, and I won't pretend that I've, studied this to death or anything, but it seems like the people that they say that they're trying to protect actually don't care about the name.
Yep.
So that's the funny thing,
It's one dude fucking writing a bunch of letters, man.
Right.
No, you know what? I'm going to say it out. It's a white dude saying, "Oh no, we can't do that." Yeah.
No shit.
And it's a collection of these white dudes going, "Oh, We know that the Eskimos don't want to be called Eskimos because we talked to them, so we call them
Dude,
Elks.
if a fucking pro sports team was named after me somehow, I would be fucking ecstatic. If that was named after my heritage, I would be that. Yeah, I'm a part of that. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I would love it.
agree.
Something to be said for that, probably, right? So
Yeah, I mean, if there was, I'm Nordic. If somehow there was a team that was Nordic, I would fucking like that team because that's, I have that heritage.
well, it's interesting. Global comes in and says the Pirates name was an insult until they adopted it. It's exactly what you're saying, Johnny. Right? Which was, I don't want to be called a pirate. It's like, oh, wait a minute, actually a pirate. Yeah, we kind of like that. And then all of a sudden everybody leans into the Pirates. Right. So
yeah,
I think it's a fascinating conversation. We're talking sports with AJ, Marty, Keith, and John.
hey,
Here on-
I got to go back to the can. You got to give me another 2 quick minutes here.
You get out of here, Johnny. Jimmy will get Johnny off the stage. And hey, AJ, can you and Marty stick on for a couple more minutes here? I know it's top of the hour. Can you guys stick on a couple more minutes?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I got a good 5.
Let's segue to purpose. Can we talk about purpose for a few moments, especially with athletics and after? So one of the titles of today's conversation was Purpose After Success, when achievement feels empty. And I think having you two guys on screen right now and having Johnny in the bidet, leans into this in many ways because, AJ, you deal with guys all the time that come to the gym chasing a specific purpose to either make or play as part of a pro sports team or make or win a championship. And Marty, in your athletic journey, the same thing. And then I know we've talked about this before, but it's just what we do here on the show and we create awareness. AJ, some of those guys come to the gym on Friday and then on Monday they're showing up going, right, my purpose has now changed. I don't have a championship to chase. Let's get into this conversation about purpose after success, when we get up and we try to find achievement, but yet when that journey ahead of us feels empty. AJ, start with you, brother.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it can be really challenging. I think if I could try to summarize it in one idea, it would be to try to make sure that the majority of our goals or the definition of our purpose is, again, connected to elements that we always talk about this that are under our control, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be certain things that we're chasing, certain things we're trying to obtain. Sometimes we're going to get them, sometimes we're not. But a lot of those things there'll be other factors that come into play that are not under our control, right? So if I'm coming to the gym to train every day, right, and I have the goal of playing in the NFL, right? I want to make sure that me actually making the NFL roster can't be my only goal, right? That can't be my only purpose. The purpose has to be about how I'm getting myself there, in which we call the process, right? So it's like, hey, I'm committed. I'm doing these things consistently on a daily basis. This is the type of person I want to be. These are the type of things that I'm trying to accomplish. And then, I might be good enough. I might have put in the work. I might have the talent, the work ethic, and everything to make that NFL team. And for some reason, some owner, some coach or whatever decides to go with somebody else, something that's not under my control, right? So if I've hung my whole sense of purpose on making that squad, I'm going to feel really defeated. I'm going to feel really worthless, right? But if I've hung my purpose on, well, no, these are the things that I do. These are my habits. This is who I am as a person. This is the type of person I am, the type of player I am. Then I can still accomplish those things without the outside help of anybody else, right? Or I shouldn't say the outside help, but without anyone being able to take that away from me, right? So if this manager, this coach, this didn't want me for their team, that doesn't mean that I'm worthless. That doesn't mean that I have no purpose. I've already established, like, this is the type of person I am. This is what I do. These are my non-negotiables. These are my habits. And we really want to try and involve ourselves in the process as much as possible. So let's say you win a Super Bowl and then you're done and you retire. What's after that? Well, obviously winning a Super Bowl is a goal as a pro athlete, right? But if that was everything, if that was it, then there's nothing after to help carry you forward. If your goals were wrapped up in the process of how you win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Right. Then that keeps going. It keeps carrying you forward. There's still more. There's this never ending well that we can keep going back to and drawing benefits from if our goal is about the process and the things that we can control.
Marty, we had a guest on the show. I believe you were on with me at one time, and he threw the quote on the table: process over purpose. Remember that? Was it, or the process over perfection? What was that? What it was? What, Marty?
It might have been process over perfection.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, because just striving for process and you know, if you're leaning into process on a daily basis, because AJ, you said something, and Marty, I want to throw a question to you. It's almost like we want to get the question out of our brain, what's next?
Well,
because if we're chasing what's next, it's suggesting you're not content with what you've already achieved, perhaps. No,
absolutely. And I got another quote for you by Inky Johnson.
Yeah,
I'm gonna butcher the quote for sure, but it's something along the lines of don't pay attention to what you get, pay attention to who you become. Right. And so when you're going throughout the process and you're paying attention to who you become, even if you don't get drafted to the team you want to get drafted to, or you don't hit the goal in the month that you wanted to hit it in, right, you're going to be amongst greatness in some form or some way, and that work is going to pay off. You know, so I think a lot of people don't pay attention to that. They just pay attention to that one goal when you might be great in another area or in a certain way, but you know, you can't get too caught up on that goal.
Yes.
Right. Does that make sense?
It does. Well, and it's interesting because when I hear AJ talking like what's next, it even leads to what John Jacob Jinglehammer Smith, John, your name, dude, I'm telling you. You know, John says, and AJ, I think it kind of says what you're relating to. I felt that I achieved my biggest growth when I realized my top goal might not work out. And what I kind of like about that is I think in some ways John is saying that I'm accepting of the process instead of accepting what I might win and then trying to do it again. Because something you keep saying, I got to be honest with you, it's sticking with me, which is this again thing. Because now you're saying to me, okay, Keith, you've won the Super Bowl. It's like you're saying, so now what? And I'm almost setting myself up for failure when I'm looking at the now what part, AJ. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, yeah, totally. And that's just us kind of, just putting all this, value or stock in this, in this one little element or this one little piece of it, and us kind of missing the bigger picture, right?
Yes.
And it's it's everywhere. Like I won't pretend that there aren't things that I'm trying to acquire or achieve in my life, right?
Yes.
There's obviously things that we're chasing, right? But I always try my best, my absolute best, to really become aware of like, okay, is this something that's under my control? If it's not, that's okay. I can still want to go out and get it, right? Or try to achieve it, or try to win, or try to, make this or get this opportunity. But, let's be aware of the process that I'm engaging in on a daily basis and every positive thing that I'm drawing from that. Because it might not be, what Marty was saying, like it might not be the thing that you originally set out to, right? Like, let's look at The Rock. The Rock thought he was going to be an NFL football player. Right. If his whole value as an individual was put in making the NFL, he did not make the NFL. Right.
Yes.
But then he went on. He became bigger than he ever could have been if he would have made the NFL. Right. He became the best wrestler in the world, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He became a movie star. He's attached himself to so many positive causes. He's helped change so many lives. His reach now far exceeds anything that he would have had as an NFL player, right? And so, to what Marty was saying from that Inky Johnson quote, like, he had to pay attention to what he was becoming, the man he was becoming, and that could be used in positive in so many other ways and directions, right? It wasn't just like, well, I made the NFL, I'm a failure, I have no purpose, I'm done, and that's it.
I got goosebumps when you use that analogy, because that's a great analogy. There's so many of us chasing this when the reality is what you actually might be chasing is this, or what you might even more importantly, AJ, what you might be achieving is actually this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you might turn around and look and be like, hey, I'm, in my pursuit of this and like leaning into this process, I've become this person. I now have, different values, skill set, physical, mental, emotional attributes that now I can apply to different situations. And, you know, maybe my pursuit of, in the Rock's case, trying to play pro football gave me a whole bunch of these attributes and stuff, and develop these skills and sharpen these tools. You know, so now I can go be great at something else. Right. But, you know, if you look at a lot of successful people, you'll realize that there might have been multiple iterations of themselves, right? Multiple versions of themselves as they went. I'm sure, Keith, you could even look at through building yourself. 100%. You could probably almost be like, hey, there was this Keith and this Keith and this Keith, right? And
it's interesting because when I'm looking at our title, which is Purpose After Success, when achievement feels empty, you know, I would love to have this conversation with Dwayne, with The Rock, because, you know, how you know, whether there was ever any emptiness during his desire to chase success, right? Yeah. And then obviously, guys, we have the complete opposite of this, which is very unfortunate. And AJ, I know you and Marty yourself as well, but I'm looking to you, AJ, specifically. We've known too many guys, especially from the hockey world, that have finished their careers and have ended up in situations that aren't very healthy. Alcoholism, drug addiction, because purpose has been lost, right?
Yeah. I mean, deep down, I think, like with every ounce of our souls, I think every man out there wants to feel like they're useful and they're needed and they have a purpose, and they want to feel like they contribute and they bring something to the people around them. And I think when these, you know, you have these athletes from a very young age, their identities wrapped up into, you know, oh, you're a hockey player, you're a football player. That's how people meet you. That's how you've made a lot of your relationships. That's how everyone refers to you. You know, I mean, we still do it even outside of sports. You know, if you meet someone new for the first time, usually within the first minute of the conversation, someone is going to lean in and be like, oh, so Keith, what do you do?
Exactly. Right? Correct.
And there's this real large part of our identity that comes with the connection of what we do. Obviously, athletes, it's a very strong one because it's so deeply rooted. You know, most of them started playing these sports when they were just kids, right? And it's been for the better part of their life that they've been involved in it. But it's a challenging thing to work through. But, you know, I'm always working with people being like, you can never reduce yourself. We don't ever want to reduce ourselves to one single element of what makes us, you know? So the fact that you play basketball, right? That's one tiny little percentage of what makes you. And we never want to reduce ourselves just to the lowest singular thing, right? We always talk about simple in concept, but not always easy in practice. That can be very, very difficult to do. It could take some real kind of conversations and some works and some self-awareness to be able to, you know, separate ourselves from that and not put our whole self-worth as an individual into what we do, you know, in this example as a sport, right?
Yes. Well, I'll wrap this conversation up with this statement here, and I'll bring in I'll bring in Miley Cyrus, and here's why. She was recently quoted here the last couple of days. People curious why she's not touring, and this relates to Purpose After Success. She says, because when you spend your time on the road and having 80 to 100,000 people telling you that they love you and that they adore you and they want more of you, she goes, what happens when you get off stage? You start searching for things that make you feel that same way, and it's not good for mental health. So AJ, back to purpose. Right. And, you know, if you're an athlete getting up after every single day and people are adoring you, and then the lights get turned out on Friday, Marty, and Monday comes, those lights aren't on anymore. I can't imagine how difficult that struggle actually is. So she has made the decision not to tour for her mental health, because she's like, I don't want to have to deal with what happens when I get off stage. Like, basically when the purpose is over, when the success is done, I'm going to crumble mentally. I find that fascinating, frankly. And Johnny, bringing you into this, I know you've struggled with your ways, you know, with some of your addiction and so forth. You've gone through your journey of finding purpose, right, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I found as I kept pivoting is that I needed to not connect with, and by the time my third venture of pro bodybuilding came around, I had really gotten a grip on this.
Yes.
Is that I wasn't really the strongman or the wrestler or the bodybuilder. I was the guy that was willing to do the things that everybody else wouldn't do to get what I wanted. And I just kept applying that to different shit.
Yeah.
You know, but when I was first you know, you don't come to that very quickly. You know what I mean? It's like, if I had only had one, if I hadn't had these 3 pivots, I wouldn't have actually probably had enough chance in that, oh shit, it's over, to learn enough to, like, by the time it happened, I remember when, well, see, I guess when I went from strongman to wrestling, it was kind of a choice. I was like, okay, it's time for me to try to move to a different platform, a bigger platform. But then when I got released from wrestling and I became a pro bodybuilder, right? That's when I was like, I was kind of lost there. But then I realized, okay, who are you? Not what do you do?
But I would argue, brother, since I've met you, actions, you're a great example of this. And Marty had to rock and roll. Appreciate it, brother. Love you, Marty. Get after it, pal. What I really appreciate you, Johnny, though, is that I would argue, and I would say to you that your purpose, once you sat down with your mom and your mom said, you need to have these systems to figure out your shit in life, that became your purpose, which was recognizing that you were going to do shit that others weren't going to do. Right. So but you don't really, but you gotta kind of learn. It's like you have to evolve there, because we're so accustomed, like, because you just, like what AJ said, you know, what do you do? Nobody says, who are you? I understand.
They say, what do you do? So we talk, I'm a plumber, I'm a strongman, I'm a whatever. But if we were trained to answer the question, who are you? Yes. Rather than what do we do, we would probably discover this a lot faster.
What I mean though about you though is that, and because I like your 3, so I look at like your 3 chapters of your book, just to simplify, right? Bodybuilding, strongman, wrestling. The consistent though is that you fell back always to your purpose, which was to do shit what others wouldn't do. So I would even suggest that even when you had, so AJ, when he had success in the ring, he didn't wake up on Monday.
But real quick, I wouldn't say my purpose is to do what other people won't do. My purpose is to change people's lives. That's where I realized. But doing what other people won't do is like the driver. It's that thing that allows me to be, you know, when they see, because you can't change people's lives if you're not doing the hard shit yourself, nobody will listen. But I'm gonna challenge you a little bit. I still think it comes back to your purpose, because yes, your purpose is helping Keith, helping AJ, helping others do it that we wouldn't do or didn't, or that we don't think we can do. And you're going, no, you can, because I've put myself through it, Keith, and I'll show you. Oh, okay. For sure. That's the driver. That's the driver, but it's not the purpose.
I understand, but you have always fallen back. So if I was to use the analogy, your wrestling career ended on Friday. Fuck, I'm kind of lost here again. Okay, wait a minute. I know that if I want to help that guy over there, I got to go back to work. To go back to work, my purpose is to do things that others won't do. And then when I go through my purpose, it puts the drive in place to help influence AJ to get through things, or Keith to get through things. So I think that in many ways that purpose was your guiding light, maybe without even realizing it, that it was actually, because I don't see you as had success looking for purpose, success looking for, where I think a lot of athletes do go, success, holy fuck, now what? I think because of the challenges you grew up with, that purpose was instilled in you without even realizing it. So whenever you became, quote unquote, I'll use the word lost, you fell back to knowing what you needed to do, which is to go to fucking work.
100%. And again, I think, we're splitting hairs here, but I think, when I think of my purpose, it's to show other people that they can, right? Yes. Who am I? I'm the guy that does what everybody else won't do. So I think, who am I? And my purpose, they're kind of like brothers, but they're still different.
Yeah. Speaking of brothers, AJ, go ahead, please.
Oh yeah. I think too. So the important thing I just wanted to point out quick in this story, using, Jon as an example, is going back to what, I was talking about before, is that, if we notice what Jon has been able to do, the fact of him doing stuff that other people won't do, that's something that's under his control. Right. And that's how this thing started off. And we were like, okay, how do we get there? How do we make sure that there's still always more for us to achieve and more for us to develop, and that it's never over? We don't, there's these individual accolades along the way that Jon might have hit or he didn't hit or whatever. But the thing that was under his control, the part of his process, was him doing things that other people wouldn't want to do. That was 100% under Jon's control at all times, for him to do those things. he did those things, right? So his sense internally, like his sense of purpose, would have been very strong, even though he would have been, had different careers or like you said, different chapters in his book, right? That's a line that would run through every single chapter of his book, was him doing the things that he had control over to the best of his ability, right?
I love that analogy, AJ, because that even relates to, I'll bring pop culture into it. Justin Bieber dropped his new album on Friday. I'm a fan of Biebs. I like his music. But what I enjoy about this last album, AJ, is, and many people were all, or pundits and people were all like, what? The album it was about giving him control back to his situation, back to what you said, right? Not about what everybody else is trying to do or trying to manipulate. The album was very honest reflection, but back to his purpose. Right. So again, very, very little similar ways, maintaining and managing control of your life. Right.
They're real. They're I shouldn't say brothers. They're probably more twins,
Yeah. Speaking of brothers and twins, AJ, do you got a rock and roll, or can you stick around for a conversation on peptides with us? What's your timing like?
I got about like 10 minutes.
That's you're taking right to my exit time. That's perfect, brother.
Perfect. So I do
we'll frolic out of here together, because we've been frolicking today.
So let's do this. Let's talk peptides for 10, and then I'm going to take 2. So if I can grab maybe 11, or I want to also pop in the AutoPen laughter with you guys as well. But let's talk peptides. First of all, I'm going to throw the question to AJ. AJ, you're in the fitness industry, the mental health industry, you're in the athletics industry. Peptides have been working their way into the conversation space. Huberman's talking about them. If Huberman's talking about them, other people are talking about them. AJ, what is your comfort level or knowledge to start the dialogue around peptides? AJ Zeglen.
So my knowledge level just comes from reading, right?
Yes.
So I don't have any personal experience in them. Obviously, the facility I'm at with the athletes that we work with, they are not currently right now approved for any of our athletes to utilize for sport at all.
Yes.
But basically, if I had to sum it up for people, it is the from my understanding, the peptide would be the precursor, the thing to ignite, right, a desired effect, right? So if we want to release more growth hormone into our system, we wouldn't be taking the actual growth hormone. The peptide would be the precursor. So taking that peptide would then signal your body to release more growth hormone. And that's the general way in which they work for people out there that aren't really sure what they are or what they do.
Johnny, do we need to do the job?
Yeah, that's great. They're basically signals. They're because basically the body already has a signal or an order to release growth hormone at night. So the peptide is coming and say, hey, let's do more of that, please.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or the flip side is maybe someone gets an injury and the body starts going into nasty inflammation. So you take a peptide that says, hey, let's slow that down faster so we can get to healing quicker, please. So it's basically just taking signals. The body's already trying to slow down the inflammation. It just doesn't have a signal to do it terribly strong, right? So we're speeding up. I mean, think of it like this, almost like messages to have the body do more or less of something.
Right.
So Johnny, what's changed in the last 6 months, 12 months, call it this last year? Why are peptides part of our conversation more than ever? Is it because of the GLP inhibitors that have been in the market for the last year and a half? Is that what's drawn people to this conversation, Johnny?
Peptides in my world have been around a long time. I mean,
yes.
Because, I remember playing with peptides way back in the beginning when they were first kind of hitting the market. But then what happened was, then as soon as they got discovered, they're unregulated. People started coming and making these things just willy-nilly. And so, when people ask me for advice all the time, what do you eat? What do you do this? What do you do that? So if I was having a perfect example, like if I remember early on, people, where do I get that? Well, fuck, I didn't have a good place for someone to go. But if I'm endorsing something, someone's going to go try to find it. And now all of a sudden, what are they taking? I got a perfect example. A couple of weeks ago, a client is telling me that he's using this peptide called GHKCU. The dash CU is copper. They have a GHK and then they have GHK-CU. The copper fucking stings when you put it in. There's no two ways about it. And for everybody, right? And he was telling me he was doing it and there was no sting. And I was like, is it a CU? He says, yeah. I said, okay, well then unfortunately that's not what you think it is. So the question is, what in the hell are you injecting into yourself? It's just sub-Q, but you just put something under the skin. You don't know what it is. So that's how I kind of went silent on the whole thing, you know, and then as time went forward, and keep in mind, you know, obviously I was dealing with other performance enhancers. So it wasn't like this is some piece of the puzzle that I just couldn't live without in my journey. And so then as time went forward, of course, it did get more popular in terms of like Ozempic. That just exploded on the market. And then people started finding out that's a peptide. Well, yeah. Now what we're dealing with, I basically have reinserted myself because now there are companies that are actually really regulated because they're supplying to doctors. And so that's what I've coupled myself with in terms of what I use and what I recommend to clients or anybody that talks to me. I'm going to recommend one of these companies. And like, keep in mind, I can actually call the owners of these companies that I've partnered with, because it's all comes down to, yes, it's real and the concept is amazing, but are you getting what you think you're getting?
AJ, have athletes talked to you privately about peptides and have been curious about them? And I know there's somewhat, you know, it's a gray area with them here, especially in Canada. Have you had people come and be curious about them, AJ?
It's funny. So I have had people come in curious. Actually, none of our athletes though, but a bunch of our clients that are in the like over 40, over 50 population, right? Yes. That are training, a bunch of males. Yes. Males in that age category have just, you know, asked about peptides and TRT. And there's a lot of kind of common conversations that happen around that topic for sure. Yeah.
Well, and there's a what the crisis around this topic is the education. Yes. You know, and so that's why I created my community. I call it Peptide University, where, you know, you go in there and every week I give a weekly live stream breaking one down, plus all the old archives. There's cheat sheets. There's just general knowledge. It's where someone can go just to kind of get up to speed on what it is. And then once you decide that you want to do it, then obviously then there's the whole dosing protocols and blah, blah, blah. So I think the main thing for people is they don't understand enough about it. And it's compared to a PED. Yes. Which is, you know, it's, I think, I don't know, there's thousands. I think there's more than 4,000 peptides. And I believe the majority of them are not synthetic. They're what's unfair. Already occurring in the body.
That's what's unfair, right? Because it's like saying, you know, Keith enjoys his cannabis. Oh, he must like his meth. No, I don't fucking have nothing. I have nothing to do with meth, right? It's like putting things into the same bucket. But I'll tell you, and no, Jimmy, that's not a cut. No, Keith does not enjoy his meth. Keith has never done meth. Keith is not anywhere near meth. But Adam Holwright, I think, says it best, Johnny. And what I want to read Adam's comment, because here's where I stand. And I bet you in many ways, AJ probably says the same thing that I'm saying. What Adam says, what has always prevented me from taking PEDs or peptides, I wouldn't know what I was injecting myself with. And I guess that's kind of my, and AJ, looking at you because we're Canadian brothers here, you know, we've been conditioned with Western medicine where if the doctor gives it to you, I guess it's okay to go. But if all of a sudden Joe Smith says, hey, this is going to make you healthier and give you some energy, you're like, okay, well, why is this guy telling me what to do? And that's why I love John, and I want to keep talking about this because education is what we need to have with this topic.
Yeah, I mean, there's a peptide for just about, and they're real specific too. I think that's what people understand. You know, it's like you have a specific issue. There's a specific peptide for that issue. You know, as to where PEDs are much more general. Yes, and but I think the misunderstanding is that they're synthetic, which there are a few that are synthetic. But when people start to understand, it's really just the body being told or asked to do what it's already doing a little more or less. It becomes a little bit more clear on what it is. Yes.
Well, and that's why I was more than comfortable introducing this conversation when I saw that Huberman and other scientists and folks are talking. Yeah. And I'm not afraid to have it. I think for me, I think it's as simple as this, right? folks start talking about Ozempic, the brand name. And then it's like, okay, so what is it? Oh, it's a GLP inhibitor. Oh, so then people start getting curious about that. Well, no, but it's GLP is really just a peptide. Oh, now we start separating the brand from it. And now it starts being a conversation for folks that might not want to be on Ozempic, right? So anyways, we're talking peptides with Keith and Jon and AJ. Mornings in the lab with Keith and Jon, getting after every single day. 2 minutes. AJ, do you know what an AutoPen is?
I do not. No.
Jimmy, do you have that clip running? I want to see if I can keep these guys for a quick. This is funny to me, man. Years ago in the United States, Jimmy, do you have that clip? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Jimmy, run the clip quickly.
What if the most trusted systems in our world could be compromised by something as simple as a signature? What if the very automation we rely on for security is actually our greatest vulnerability? Problem: you trust that these systems will protect what matters most. But what happens when that trust becomes a blind spot? Research Evidence Foundation. Recent analysis reveals that our most secure institutions rely on signature-based authorization that creates dangerous accountability gaps. The same principles that make government systems vulnerable are operating in your personal and professional life right now. Practical application and transformation. Systems that require your active engagement, not passive trust. Empowering close and call to action. It's time to close the accountability gap.
Pen, because I thought this was funny, and so did my son Carter. The reality is, guys, in the United States of America, there were thousands and thousands of documents signed over the last 4 years by a puppet. Yeah, true story. They just had the AutoPen running, AJ and Johnny. It was some guy saying, "Hey, Mr. Biden, you need to sign this." Well, the guy can't sign it, so they press the button, and the AutoPen signs it. So just hang on.
That takes the authenticity away from the autograph.
I actually find it fascinating. There's these legal documents that are controlling humans' lives in America that were signed by a fucking robot. Not even a human. And just kind of hang on that for a second. Now, I know World War III is not going to be started with an AutoPen, but think about some of the orders, the laws, the executive order. And I'm bringing it up because the Trump administration is having them look at all the things the Biden administration signed to see if it was actually signed by the dude or signed by somebody controlling the dude. But just kind of think about that for a second. Isn't that kind of just bizarre?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, what if the fucking pen went awry and signed a bunch of shit it wasn't supposed to?
Well, that's my point.
It's like the video you see where the fucking robot starts beating the shit out of the tech that's trying to program it.
Yes. So, in the corners of the White House, they're just sitting back going, okay, let's sign this, let's sign this, let's sign this, let's sign this. And you got this autograph machine just signing away. So.
And if it was like an athlete or a movie star, it takes the authenticity away. The whole concept is that person signed this thing for me.
Yes.
It was his hand that did it.
Yes.
I agree. And they took their time to do it.
Yes. Yeah. Although
and they might have written your name on it. It's an experience. It's basically documenting an experience.
Although AJ, I will admit, after I got to know you and got to know the gang at Focus and started spending some time with you guys over there, I did lose the luster of kind of the behind the scenes stuff when I learned that the boys just go into the room and sign a bunch of letters.
Right.
So they sign their name on the letter. So you're actually not signing the jersey. So I'll sit down and sign 1,000 18s so that you can put my 18s all over whatever jerseys you want. Just some of the magic I find in the autograph industry gets lost.
Right. Yeah. There's definitely it's a mass thing, right? And they have signings and stuff like that where they, they're required to sign so much stuff, right? But
yes,
there's still an element, right, where they'll have in-person signings and stuff like that, which I always think are pretty cool because then the individual or the kid or whatever gets to have the athlete in front of them. And I think, as to what Jon was saying, the coolest part about it is you have the signature, but you have that experience, right? Yes. And it's more about, the two most valuable things arguably in our life are our time and what we do at that time, which would be our attention. Right.
Yes.
And so that brief little sliver, you have both the time and the attention of this person that you so much admire, as a kid, if it's your favorite player or something like that. And I think that's kind of where the magic kind of comes from, even if it's only for 10 seconds. Right.
Yes.
But it's
Well, they invented the AutoPen in the United States government because the president had to sign so many documents. So it was invented, what, hundreds of years ago, there, hundreds of years ago, whatever it was. But I find it humorous because, and I always pride myself on finding ridiculous conversations for us to have about things that people maybe aren't thinking about. And I didn't think you guys were thinking. I wasn't thinking about it until it became a controversy. No. Then I started looking into going, really? They actually have a fucking pen and a machine, and somebody hits enter and they just sign just like massive documents.
Where's it going to stop?
It's a great example. It's a great example that if you look deep enough, then you realize that we're all just human at the end of the day, right? So like, people would hold these people in such high regard maybe and be like, oh, they couldn't do that. Like, this is the most important stuff that goes on. Like, this couldn't be done, right?
Yes.
And then when you look a little deeper, you're like, oh, no, yeah, they're just like everyone else, you know what I mean? Like, it just, they're still just humans doing human stuff, like.
Here's the best way for me to wrap your comment. I read a good quote last night from President Trump. He's like, yeah, I was telling the first lady that I had a good chat with Vladimir today. And she's like, oh, really? He just bombed the city again. So back to your comment about human beings, right? Because they're just having dinner, just going upstairs to bed. Yeah, I just had a good chat with Johnny today. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, he just dropped a bunch of bombs on Kiev today. What the fuck? Right? Yeah. I'm not trying to make light of it, but I'm relating to your point, AJ, that at the end of the day, they're just humans making decisions, right?
Yeah. They're just, and so I don't know. It's, but I find that happens in everything, right?
Yes.
You'll read a story or find out something about your favorite actor or musical artist or athlete or whatever. And then people get disappointed. And I'm like, don't be disappointed. Like, they're just human beings. They're just like, the rest of us. We're all doing this kind of stuff. We all have stuff that we're proud of, stuff that we, are not proud of or wish we would have done differently. We've all made mistakes. We've all tried to correct them and done great things at the same time. And we're all just, I
had this moment with Andersen a few months ago when he confessed to me, because you get this, you put people on pedestals, you create personas of humans, right? When he was like, what are you talking about, man? I was standing in front of the fridge like a stupid son of a bitch going, what am I going to eat? And I was like, you do that? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh. And I'm being serious because I just, my opinion was he's so disciplined and regimented that it doesn't do that. So it gave me comfort that I wasn't the only stupid son of a bitch standing in front of the fridge going, what am I going to eat? Because if he has that struggle, that gives
it just comes down to how well do we manage ourselves.
Yes, but it's relatability, right? It's relatability, right? So, anyways, AJ, dude, I'm really glad you popped in today, man. I'm really super fucking happy you came and hang out with us today.
No, I'm happy it worked out today too, because like I said, my regular slot here for tomorrow and then next week until all the guys take off for Europe might be compromised a little bit. I'm going to be probably starting every morning 50-50 to see if I can make it in or not. But it'll be challenging to hit those times next week. So
all good. You know where we are. Hey, I knocked on Pickard's door and I said, hey, Pick, why don't you come on the show? I don't know if you told. I said AJ's on the show with me often too. So
okay, awesome. Yeah,
he lives up the road. So next time you see him, tell me you should come on Bilous' show and come meet Jon Andersen and me.
I'll see him in exactly 1 hour.
Johnny Cal Pickard is a goalie for the Edmonton Oilers who played in the Stanley Cup Finals, actually. So he's just my neighbor up the road here. I've known him for a few years, and AJ trains him. So I sent him a text a couple of days ago. I said, "Fuck, come hang out with me and Johnny in the lab here." And he's like, "I'll come hang out with you guys." So we'll. I hope he doesn't go back to some of the clips though, where I was saying that I wasn't cheering for Edmonton. All right. Okay, Zeg, you got to get out of here, pal. We'll get you out of here. You have yourself an awesome day. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow. If not, we'll see you next week. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Good to see you, AJ.
Same.
All right. AJ's out of here. Johnny's going to get out of here quickly as well. Guys, we had a good conversation about peptides with myself and Johnny. And I just want to throw this back out. If you're curious about this stuff, I promise you, my goal is to talk more about this on a regular basis because I'm curious about it, and I think you guys are curious about it. And it falls right into our demographic of men that are curious about these kind of topics. If you want to
check out my community, the easiest way is to go to my Instagram on that what do they call it? The link bio. There's a link that'll take you right there. I have yet to put it in my LinkedIn yet.
Yes. So guys, I want you to hear me clearly. We're here to give you the information and the decisions you make are your decisions. We're simply going to provide the information.
Just education.
educate and give you the info with the decisions you guys make. Talk to your doctors, talk to your clinicians, talk to your experts around you, but not here to, officially endorse anything. I just want to give information because I'm the guy like Adam Holroyd. I'm exactly like Adam Holroyd. If I'm going to do this, I want to know what it is. I want to know what it's all about. And I didn't know until I learned from Johnny off the show here that it's a subcutaneous injection. So, and I think Johnny, before
most of them, some of them, there's a few that are capsules, and actually there's quite a lot that are capsules. There are a lot that there's 4,000 of them.
What frustrates me though is that it's such a great topic that the medical profession doesn't want to talk about it because it's not monetized because the business side.
Because you can't, it's already in there. You can't patent it.
Yeah. Right. So that and alone doesn't give people the comfort to do things. Right. Oh, because it doesn't have a brand name on it. I'm not going to do it. Right. So anyways, what do you got going on today, pal? A lot of fun here today. What do you got going on today?
I'm looking forward to my workout. Right when I get done with this. And I got some client calls, and then Tara and I are going to go run some errands in the afternoon, which is always fun.
Nice.
So spend some time with the lady. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, pal. Well, listen, you go ahead and
have a good loop, my brother.
You too, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay.
Have a killer one. I can't. We'll be rocking and rolling tomorrow, just like every day, my brother.
Every day, 24 hours from now. Mornings in the Live with Keith and Jon, 8:00 Eastern time. YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. Brother, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
Have a good loop, my brother.
All right. Johnny's out of here, Jimmy. Let's keep the show rocking and rolling here. What do we got here? Chatters United Local 7240 supports our community guidelines. That's awesome, Global. Hey, Global, where are you? I'm sure I've asked this before, but Global, where are you joining me from? I know we got Lady Drew down in the Carolinas. We got B Drive up in Michigan. My beekeeper buddy. Beekeeper's awesome, man. Bernard, we had Bernard in the show a couple days ago. Actually, yesterday, Bernard had big news. We brought him on. And Bernard, you might have to get onto Maddie's show. Talk some kindness rising. Mark Kempf, if you're still here, I hope you enjoyed our conversation about purpose. We got after that one earlier on in the show. We talked peptide, we talked purpose. Had AJ join us here. I was surprised to have AJ join the show, which was awesome. All right, Jim. So right now I am moving my finger on my screen so I can get to our so let's just see here. We talked AutoPen. I think that we got to every topic today, Jimmy, except for we may have had one more to get after today. But if we don't, we'll get after it tomorrow. We'll throw it to tomorrow's show. West by God, Virginia. Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Oh, Virginia. I love that. West Virginia. That's awesome. Okay, so guys, I think we're going to go to the community corner segment, Jimmy. I'm just looking for my... Oh, yes. No, that was yesterday's show. Sorry. I was looking at the conversation on the divorce conversation, but that's the folks else from yesterday's show. I'm just a little bit confused with my notes here, Jim. It's okay. There we go. Oh no, we're on 2093. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm just having a little troubles with my notes in front of me here. Uncle Keith's eyes they're not getting any younger. Is this the right one? No. Jimmy, can you just give me the link? Thanks, brother. Uncle Keith is struggling over here with getting to it properly. All right. I'm gonna do. Hey guys, while I'm trying to figure this out, you guys know you can join the community. You know you can. 431-300. Jimmy's like, okay, the guy's gonna go to the phone number thing. Y'all, if you listen to my show enough times, you know that when I'm fumbling around with my words or with my buttons, I just throw the phone number up. Yeah, 431-300-3005. That's it. 431-300-3005. 100%. Bernard, I feel like that bootstrap answer was loaded. If I had to fund it myself, I wouldn't need it. And everything is rolled back in except expenses and food. I literally go nowhere but a store or bees. I get you, Bernard. Yeah. So Bernard, so I hear you, man. I hear you. My strong advice or reco is let's find a way to get revenue running into your house. I would love to see revenue running into your house so you can keep that revenue invested back into the bees, because that's what I'm doing here. You know, Maddie and Keith are out there. We're out selling shows right now with the goal to put the money back into grow distribution. The reality in today's internet is you need distribution. Actually, the internet's dead, so you got to get distribution on platforms. So get that first revenue coming in, Bernard, and just pump it back in. That because you come to a guy like me, you're like, hey Keith, you want to throw some money into my business? My first question would be, what kind of revenue are you driving? Like, hey man, I'm driving $100,000 a month in monthly recurring revenue. I'm probably walking towards you quicker, I'm suspecting, with my money than if you're just coming to me with it's coming. And I've heard your pitch, and I've heard your the parameters of your business. I love it. I think it's fantastic investing into shares or pieces of the business. I think for me though, the comfort comes in. For others, I know the comfort would come. You got revenue coming in, because then when you got revenue coming in, you have a little more control over me too as your investor, right? So yeah, I see that question there too. Cool. Okay, let's get to the community corner. I gotta tell you guys what I'm loving about our show is that the show is, when I started this thing, it was to be less about me and the hosts and more about the community. And it's great that it's becoming very much about the community. Speaking of the community, I would love to hear from you guys. Topics you're enjoying what we're talking about, topics that you don't enjoy what we're talking about, topics you want to hear more about. We have our pillars, right? Business and athletics and performance and lifestyle. And, if you peel those 4 pillars back, BAPL, we lean into things like relationships and mindset and physical fitness and good food and peptides and relationships, right? So I really, really want to keep hearing from you guys. My goal today was to introduce an X-Files segment to get everyone to X and do some surfing and find some great content for us to discuss and dig into. But luckily enough, we had the Zeglen show up. So we had him to join the conversation today. So Bernard, yes. And Bernard, listen, dude, I am more than happy to keep having the conversation with you on a daily basis, weekly basis. Dude, I'm on your team, right? Just like you're on my team. I'm on your team. We're on everybody's team together. So, okay, Jimmy, I am going to start this segment right now by doing this. That was good dance. I'm going to it's the frolicking part. Hold it like this. Enough frolicking, fellas. Have you noticed how easy it is to trade? Hey, Jimmy, do you think the business guys are going to take me serious if I go into the meetings just frolicking in? They don't know that there's the handsome business guy underneath the hat and the sunglasses. Now they just see the frolicker. It's the new word on our show, frolicking. Oh, fellas, have you noticed how easy it is to drown in noise? Have you? Yeah, I have. Fuck, I do it every single day. Listen to Andersen and Marty. More tips, more meetings, more next big things. There's always a next big thing. Wow. Sometimes the loudest voices, they miss the point. What's the point? It's time for the Community Corner, where we connect LinkedIn and Substack live right here on Mornings and Live with Keith and Jon. Today we got stories. Oh yeah, baby, true story. That'll make you question the grind, laugh at your own habits, and maybe just change how you show up for yourself. All right, ready? You ready? Let's dig into it. It's my new sound effect. Yeah, why doing less makes you a better man and a smarter leader. You ever notice how some leaders pile on more tasks, more meetings, more busy work, like adding bricks to a backpack, hoping it'll make them look unstoppable? Well, Nick Macris flips the script. He says that the most effective leaders subtract, they not stack. No, it's about who does the most. It's who strips away the nonsense to get clear, focused, and decisive. Fellas, looking busy? Really? It's a fucking waste of time. Oh, I'm busy. I'm just frolicking away. I'm busy. Oh, I'm just busy. I like being busy. Oh, look at me. I'm busy. Really? I invite you to follow Nick's advice. Cut the noise. Focus on the essentials. Go listen to my brother Adam Thomas Heard from yesterday's show. Just cut all the noise. Focus on the signal. That's it. One signal. Get rid of your inbox. If somebody wants to get a hold of you bad enough, they're going to get a hold of you. True story. Think about that. You know your inbox is somebody else's to-do list? Think about that too. Your inbox is my to-do list. Yeah, I want B-Drive to do this. Oh, I'm going to get Adam to do this for me. Someone's going to email him. Think about that. Think about that, you guys. Your inbox, my to-do list, not your to-do list. Less is more, unless you're doing some longevity work. True story. Yeah. True story. All right. What if the think? No, I'm going to put this one instead. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Global, you're right. People with money have the exact same issues as the ones without it. How do I know? I'm one of them. True story. Yep. The one trait that kills your attraction and potential. What if the thing holding you back isn't your job? It's your fucking looks. Yeah, you ugly motherfucker. Kidding. What if the thing holding you back isn't your job, your looks, or your bank account, but your passivity? Yeah, I said passivity. Well, Arch Winger says the most unattractive trait a man can have is being passive, especially in relationships. But it's bigger than dating. If you're always waiting, hoping, avoiding the hard calls, you're not being the nice guy. You're a bystander in your own measly little life. So if you want to be more magnetic, get up. Don't hit the snooze button. Start making decisions. Decisions are hard. Take those risks and show up daily, even when you fall. Because when you fall, it gives you a chance to get back up again. You don't need an internet guru for any of this, what I'm telling you. You just need to act to make life happen for you and not you. All right. Boom, boom. I'm back in the game. What real progress looks like. You ever feel stuck? Bernard, you feel stuck? Imagine fighting for every inch, every muscle movement for months in a hospital bed. Well, that's Hunter's story. Shared by his dad, Dr. Damon Friedman. For Hunter, after months stuck in a hospital bed, fighting to move again, his big win wasn't the marathon or a comeback post. It was his first ride out at the Shepherd Center on a wheelchair lift to leave and have a hamburger. Yeah, true story. His dad captured the moment, the courage, the patience, the raw truth of fighting for the tiniest victories. This isn't some flashy transformation. It's a moment of reclaiming dignity and momentum. Guys, progress is slow. So if you feel frustrated despite giving it your all, I invite you to pause and appreciate where you are right now. Where are you right now? Pause and appreciate it. Surprise you. Yeah, true story. True story, true story. Daily accountability, not perfection, is the real win. So I'm going to do this. Shout out to Hunter and every guy fighting to take back your morning. Own it. Make it a non-negotiable. Make it your morning before you give your day to somebody else. All right, guys, stop chasing the finish line and savor the walk. You heard us talking about purpose. You heard us talking about bounce around through success, purpose, up and down. Well, Colin Henderson took a walk. Colin Henderson. I got the accent out here. Colin Henderson took a walk in Nashville and found himself contemplating how everybody's chasing the finish line, but almost no one enjoys the walk. In business and health and relationships, we want the shortcut, the six-pack, all of it, you know. But if it's built fast, it rarely lasts. It's built slow. It's growing all sustainability. So instead of being an outcome junkie, I invite you. Enjoy where you are as you walk towards those goals, man. You got to get up. You got to get after it. Don't hit that fucking snooze button. Nope. Instead, I'm telling you, instead being an outcome junkie. So learn to love the process and you're going to feel much more fulfilled. Well, that's your celebration of the guy from Nashville today, Colin Henderson. Stop chasing the finish line and savor the walk right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John and the funny accent. Hey, we are in the entertainment business, Jimmy. Slow-mo. 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 Boom. All right, folks. Today's stories, well, prove one thing. Just one thing. That progress can be slow and uncomfortable. And it also proves that I can frolic back here. But every morning, we get to choose. We get to choose whether we hit the snooze button or whether we get up. where we subtract the noise, where we focus on the signal, where we show up, where we let your to-do list control my day. Or will we enjoy the process even if it is slow? So, nation, if you want your story featured on Uncle Keith's show, Mornings in Live with Keith and Jon, on Community Corner, follow us on Substack and LinkedIn. Tag us in your next post. Why wouldn't you? Why? Why wouldn't you? All right, let's go to the Creator Spotlight. Let's start off on LinkedIn. Jimmy, let's get after it.
Ever notice how the strongest men in your life seem to be falling apart? One coach watched his friends struggle between barbells and babies, between building businesses and building character. He realized that being a good provider meant nothing if you couldn't play with your kids or model the discipline you preach. After transforming from running just 14 miles in an entire year to training for ultramarathons with an 80% failure rate, he discovered something revolutionary. The problem wasn't time, genetics, or motivation. It was pursuing the wrong thing entirely. Instead of chasing success for himself, he learned to steward his God-given ambition for others. Now he's helping dad.
Oh, what happened there, Jimmy? I wasn't ready for the abrupt ending. Oh, just the abrupt ending. Hey, Cody, what's shaking? Cody. 4 kids under 5, and this guy's training for Spartan races? Really? Jimmy, who is this dude? This guy's got to get on our show. Might be a superhero. Most dads use that as an excuse, but Cody Lutz uses it as fuel. This dude went from corporate comfort, true story, to creating backyard shreds, helping dads ditch the dad bod by committing 30 minutes a day. No gym required. His 5-year-old is running his first Spartan because dad's running 3 races in 3 states. That's the power of modeling behavior you want to see in others. Stronger dads equal stronger families. And Cody. Here's how it works. Cody Lutz, Bibles, barbells, babies, love to have you on my show. Yeah, I'd like you to bring your backwards hat, that awesome smile, that great tight fitted t-shirt, backyard shreds, build, lift, and grow, and get your ass to my gym, to the Mornings in the Lab platform, so we can celebrate you, Cody, so we can give you the light so you can celebrate somebody else on the next Community Corner right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Jon, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Cody. Okay, Jimmy, let's keep rolling. Let's bring on the next creator for the Creator Spotlight on the Community Corner.
What if the moment you think you're finished is actually when your greatest chapter begins? Most people accept the world's verdict about their expiration date, surrendering to the narrative that peak performance has a shelf life. They watch from the sidelines as younger competitors take their place, convinced their time has passed.
The most remarkable transformations happen when individuals refuse to accept external limitations and instead focus on internal readiness. This principle applies whether you're navigating career transitions, personal setbacks, or moments when everyone else has written you off. This mindset transforms waiting periods from frustration into preparation seasons. Your next breakthrough isn't behind you. It's waiting for you to stay ready when life offers no guarantees.
Whoa. You know what drives me crazy? Jimmy, you know what drives me crazy? When people act like their story's already written. Yeah, like they've peaked and it's all downhill. That's why Kyle's story is so inspiring. He learned to find his own lane and build a reputation on real talk. Not just with his teammates, no baby, but with anybody navigating setbacks or self-doubt. He's not here to sell you the myth. He's open about the quiet seasons and the grind it takes to be ready for whatever comes next. On and off the field, he shows that showing up for your people, your family, your community, or even that version of yourself you're still building matters more than titles or trophies. That's the kind of energy this motherfucking show is all about. So, Kyle, love to have you on the show, mister. Love to get your ass on my show. Kyle would love to have you take the Creator Spotlight that I'm going to hand over to you so you can shine that light on somebody in your world Two-time Super Bowl champ, Pro Bowler, husband, father, off-season golfer, linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens, writing the playbook for life's comebacks. So Kyle, my former athlete brother, my current athlete brother, you're welcome to Mornings in the Lab. Come to the lab so I can give you the light so you can shine it on somebody in your world and those 2 Super Bowl rings on the next Mornings in the Lab. Keith and friends. There you go, Kyle. There you go, Jimmy. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. Okay, guys. Well, listen, look at that. Yeah, there's that sound effect. The one that'll never get old. I brought it out from day one. What a fun show here today, guys. Another fun one. Looking at the comments here. Man, you guys are awesome. The Mornings in the Lab community is active and it is awesome and it lives on because of you guys. Appreciate all of you guys. Hey, listen, on behalf of producer Jimmy, hope you guys had fun today. Yeah, I'm just going to stand here and watch you guys' comments. True story. What do you guys got going on today? I know I'm going to go do a shoulder lift here next. I got some recording to do as I'm cloning my voice. I'm spending some time on 11 Labs cloning my voice. It needs 2 hours of audio. So I think I'm 30 or 40 minutes into this. I'm doing like 10, and I can take audio from my show, but it's not clean audio. So I'm sitting back here and just talking to the microphone so we can create an AI generated version of Keith. AI Keith. Keith Mornings. That's it. Speaking of mornings, guys, we're back at it tomorrow. Free for all Friday. You guys want to join the show? Holroyd, Lady Drew, B Drive, you guys can join the show. You guys are members of my community. To all of you guys that aren't members of my community, you can't join the show. Global, you want to join the show tomorrow? Absolutely you can. 431-300-3005. We get special spots available for our community members on the next Mornings in the Lab on Friday, tomorrow. All right, Lola's here, which means she needs to go to the restroom. Means my bladder's here. Have a good one. Jimmy, let's go. I'm going to frolic out of here. See y'all.